Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com, and I have a sweet little project for you today, and I'm calling it a divided basket, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But I'm using this one as a little get well basket for someone. So there's a couple of tea bags and some sugars and a little card in there, and I have a little tag hanging off of it. So let me take these out and I'll show you what it means by divided. So I have 2 tea bags and 2 sugars, and I actually made a cute little card, and this is 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and I simply started with a 5-inch by 3.5 inch piece of cardstock and scored it in the middle at 2.5 inches, and I put a little mat on that was a 1/4 inch smaller, so it was 2.25 by 3.25, and you can decorate that any way you wish. On the back section of the box, I actually have a piece of chocolate, and that's a good, I have a masterpiece, and 2 of these honey sticks that I had gotten from the World Market. And I like the honey because it's good for soothing your throat when you have a sore throat if you're not feeling well. Alright, so let me see if I can show you that. Oh yeah, you can see that. So the basket is divided. There actually is a divider in there as well, and it folds over by the way we're scoring it. And then I used the cardstock around the outside as a handle. Now the stamp set that I'm using is actually one that's very useful if you're sending out some get well messages, and it's called Healer, H-E-A-L-E-R, and it's from May Made It. And I went to her shop at maymaymadeit.com and purchased this one because I send out a lot of get well cards because I belong to a Christian medical sharing ministry. So I use these a lot, and the one we're using, this is Blessings as You Recover, and the one I'll use today is You're in His Care. It doesn't take a lot to put together. What you'll need is a piece of patterned paper that is 12 inches long by 3 inches wide. So you can make 4 of these out of one 12 by 12 piece of paper. And for the handle, I used a strip of cardstock that was 1 inch wide, and it was 11 inches long because that's how long my cardstock was. If your cardstock is 11.25 or 12 inches long, that would be fine as well. You can cut it down to 11, but you could use whatever you end up having. And then whatever embellishments or sentiments that you want. Now, because this is a dark piece of paper, I'm actually going to score it on a piece of white so you can see what I'm doing a little bit easier. So let me get my scoreboard up and we'll get scoring. Alright, with the 12-inch side of the paper up, go ahead and score it at 1 inch, 4 inches, 5 inches, 8 inches, 8 1/2 inches, and 11.5 inches. Now let's turn the short side up, and if there's a pattern to your pattern paper that's directional, make sure the up is to the right, and let's score it at 1 inch, and that will be the bottom. Alright, so you'll have a 1 inch section on one end and a 1/2 inch section on the other end. On that 1/2 inch section, this part is the part that's going to fold to the center to make our inside divider. So we're not going to need that first, on that 1 inch on the bottom score line, we will not need that 1/2 inch, that whole panel, and the other 1/2 inch. So go ahead and cut those off. And we'll go ahead and cut our tabs free. So on the rectangular section of those 1 inch score of the score lines on the bottom section, go ahead and cut as straight up as possible on the score line, and you can notch it a little bit on the square. Okay, so I'm going to fold and burnish my score lines. Okay, so this is what we have now. And what will happen is this section actually will fold in to the box and create the divider like this. So that's what gives you the divided basket. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to switch over to a piece I've already done. That's my pattern paper. And I have the dark flowers, which will be my outside, and the stripes will be on the inside. And as you can see, I've done it exactly the same way. All right, so let's go ahead and put our box together. And how we're going to do that is to first put a stripe of glue on that last tab, that 1/2 inch section. That will be part of the inside fold of the box. I'm going to fold that one over, and then I'm going to fold it over right at this, not the second, but the third score line from this side, right where my bottom front tab will be. And try to match up the top. And let me get my finger unstuck. There we go. There, and that sticks it right where we need it to be. Okay, so we have that inside part of it. And now all we have to do is put some glue on that outside of that last 1 inch section and just stick it right to the end. And I'm going to match the end of the paper up with that outside score of the box. And just put glue right down to that score line for now. Okay, now all we have to do to match this one up is go ahead and lay that flat, and on this score line we're going to fold that over and try to match up the top. And it should pretty well match up with the side of your box. Okay, so this is what we have. We have a box with a divider right in the center of it. All right, so let's glue the bottom of our box now. So go ahead and you will notice that there is one seam on the outside, and that will be the back. The other side will be the front, and the front flap will go down last, and I've already put adhesive on it. So let's go put the sides down, the back down, and then go ahead and put the front down. And that creates our divided box. All right, so now we just have to glue on our handles, and we're just going to glue it simply on the outside from side to side. And as I said, I have a 1 inch by 11 inch because that just happened to be as long as my cardstock is. You can go 11, 11 and a quarter, or 12, whatever you have. And I'm just going to use some wet glue for this part. Okay, so I have my divided basket now. Let me make sure I'm on the front. Yeah, that's the seam for the back. So on the front section now, I'm going to put my sentiment. And I just used a label, a die that I had in my stash. And these two are old Stampin' Up! Nesting ovals, punches actually. But you can use whatever you have that works, as well as the little retired butterfly stamp, because I have them around. And I'm just going to glue that on the front. Alright, so I'm just going to use some ribbon from my stash and tie a ribbon on the side. You can tie it wherever you want. If you want to tie it down a little or higher to the top, that's fine. This just happened to appeal to me right on the side right here. Alright, so I've tied a bow just right on the side of the top there. And you can throw glue down under there to make sure it doesn't slide down if you want it up a little higher. And I'm just using a little tag that I cut from a die from my stash. And I'm using one of these. And this is a little... It's actually a safety pin, and I had seen a couple around last fall, but then I went ahead and I was trying to find them and I couldn't, but I did order them from AliExpress, so they actually come in a bag of multicolors, and it is from AliExpress. And let me go ahead and just tuck it over my bow. I think that's really cute. Alright, so let me go ahead and load it up. And I have 2 of the immunity herbal tea supplements. I'm going to tuck those in. And I have a couple of sugars I'm going to put in there as well. Let me turn it over to the back pocket. And let me go ahead and tuck a couple of honey sticks in. I'll just bend the bottom up a little bit. so they don't stand up too tall. And I have another one of these Godiva Masterpiece chocolates I'm going to tuck in there as well. And I have my little 3.5 by 2.5 inch note card that I'll write something nice on and send it along with my little gift. Let me tuck that in there behind the tea bags. So here's my project today, a little divided basket that you can use for some get well wishes or whatever you want to use it for. Here, let me bring my other one back in. And I think it ends up being a very sweet little thinking of you present as well. So I hope you enjoyed the project today and give it a try. If you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information on this project or others I've done, please go to rejoiceandcreate.com. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!